Folks, I'm ready for the NBA Finals. I am. I have absolutely adored. I just got back from Dallas covering the Dallas Wings versus Chicago Sky. Had a blast. I'm loving the WNBA season. NoCastSpaceWB.com. You can find it in the description below for my women's basketball coverage. But look, I'm ready for the NBA Finals. I've been itching as a Thunder fan. It feels like it's been forever since the Oklahoma City Thunder have played basketball. And as I've been waiting, I've really been looking at the stats, thinking about this series. And honestly, I've been nervous. And it's not anything to do with the Oklahoma City Thunder because I feel very confident in their chances. But everyone keeps saying that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win and are going to dominate. And I can't. It's messing me up. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting nervous. I'm ready for these games to start. But because of that, I've been looking at stats. And I've been thinking about where this series is going to be won. And yes, it's never just one thing. But I wanted to look at what is the stat to watch. And it's interesting because these teams are actually very similar in what they prioritize. They just do it in different ways. And the stat to me that speaks that the most is turnovers. It's across the board, whether it's turning you over, reducing their turnovers, scoring off turnovers, and their pace as well has a lot to do with that in differing ways. Let's dive into it though, because I want to start off with them not turning the ball over, because both these teams have done a pretty damn good job over the course of this playoffs of not turning the ball over. And that's 11.8 turnovers per game for Oklahoma City. That's second in the playoffs. 12.7, fifth in the playoffs for Indiana. And I think it's pretty obvious to look at where that starts, right? And that's the head of the snake for both of these teams, and it's their star guards. SGA, Tyrese Halliburton, for as much as they have the ball in their hands, goodness, they do a fantastic job of not turning the ball over. And it's an incredible testament to how good that they are and how smart they are with their turnover margin, and you're thinking about the other players surrounding them as well, like where I think it's a nice mixture of not asking others to do too much when maybe they are not capable, right? And I mean, obviously, the depth on these teams, like there's a lot of players that are capable of doing great things, right? But your other star players surrounding them aren't turning the ball over, and you are allowing your star guard to orchestrate and to lead an offense. And by doing that, you see an incredible turnover margin for both these teams, and reducing the opportunities that they give the other team. And in turn, right, it also helps when you're scoring off turnovers, which both these teams do very well. First and second in the playoffs, Oklahoma City at 23.8, Indiana 18.5 points off turnovers per game. So from a first and a second, that's actually a pretty decent margin of difference in between both of these teams. But still, first and second in the playoffs for good reason. I mean, we saw in that Indiana-New York series where the way that they were able to just absolutely blow out New York in the points off turnover margin made all the difference in that series, right? And for Oklahoma City, I think what's interesting is you have so many players that are always so active, but can also immediately get out and run. When you think about all their wings that they have that can defend, you think about their guards on the perimeter that can defend, that are just swiping down, right? Pretty much every player on this team, outside of maybe Hartenstein, can pretty much steal the ball and go. And the amount of times you just see Oklahoma City just on 4 verts and going is incredible. And it's a testament to the ideology of this team, and it's also that's to me where we talk about pace of play, and I think that's also an important stat in this series. But both these teams are very comfortable playing fast on both ends, and a lot of that has to do with the ability to just get points off turnovers, right? But also Oklahoma City has an interesting pace on defense as well, where like the amount of chaos that's going to be on the court when we're seeing Indiana offense versus Oklahoma City defense is going to be insane. Because the amount of movement that Indiana does, that to me is more of where their pace come from. It's not about shooting a quick shot or being 7 seconds or less like the OG Phoenix Suns. Like, it's not about that. It's their movement in the half court. It's when they're cutting and screening and flare screening and dribble handoffs, and like everyone is consistently moving. But you look on the other side for Oklahoma City, right? That's what they do. They are very comfortable. They can switch everything. Damn near every. I mean, we just saw Alex Caruso on Nikola Jokic, and it worked terrifically because of the help defense, because of what Caruso can do. And so what I mean by that is when you're thinking about how these two teams are going to be moving, how many mismatches can Indiana actually functionally create, and thus, which helps in them not turning the ball over, right? So that's where I'm interested in Oklahoma City on the defensive end, and that's their pace to me that's important in this series. It's not even either team taking a lot of shots very quickly. It's about how can Oklahoma City defensively keep up with how fast Indiana moves offensively off the ball. That's what I'm super interested in seeing. But it also, and kind of tying back into the turnovers per game, the opponent points off turnover is also a very massive thing here. First and second in the playoffs, they might as well be equal in this. 12.6 points per game for the opposing team for Oklahoma City. Second in the playoffs, 12.5 for Indy, essentially the same. These teams just take such good care of the ball and also have a really good transition defense. Like the amount of times I've seen over the course of this season where Oklahoma City does turn the ball over, which was already rare enough, but they do turn the ball over, and then you just see a demon flying down the court, whether it's Caruso, Kaysen, Kenrich, Wiggins, Joe, Dort, Shea, Dub. I mean, like the amount of names that you could even list just off that is insane. But the amount of times where they have just stopped fast breaks just on the basis of getting back and working. And there's a similar mindset in the same way for the Indiana Pacers, right? And to try and look and see about who is going to win this series, and again, it's more than just the turnovers, but this feels like the indicator. Because for both of these teams, this is where they have found so much success and have been able to make life easier for themselves by, obviously, if you're forcing turnovers, that's a great thing. If you're scoring off turnovers, you're not allowing teams to get into their half-court defense, which feels especially important in this series for Indiana, going against the defense that Oklahoma City has. Which team can go out there and win the turnover battle? And again, both these teams are going to be very comfortable playing fast, but it's another thing to be in control of the pace while you are playing fast. Even though you might not be completely uncomfortable, like some teams that might just get ran off the court via the pace of either of these teams, being in control of that pace is a very different thing than playing within it. And I think that the turnover margin is going to be what really, truly helps dictate that pace in this game. And whichever team can win that turnover margin, whichever team can win the points off turnovers, can rack that up quicker than the other, I feel like is going to win the series. And to me, that is Indiana's best bet of pulling off, again, what is now being, I mean, the betting odds and everything are just insane in the Thunder's favor. And yes, I should be favored, but goodness gracious, I'm getting nervous. But I'm ready for game one. I'm ready to cover it. I'm ready to talk it here. So make sure you subscribe, like, share. Let me know, what are you looking for as the key to victory in this NBA Finals series between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers? And I'll see you next time.